and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 most extreme body piercings. Before we jump into this video, I just want to remind you guys that Most Amazing Top 10 have their own Instagram account now. You guys can find us at Most Amazing Official. See you there. Coming into number 10, we have corset piercings. Corseting is where you get various piercings on your body and you run ribbons through them. You then tie them up to look like the back of a corset. We can't actually even show you some of these because they're so intense and some of them are pretty naked. We are a family friendly channel, so we're just gonna show you a couple of appropriate ones. One I can show you is this guy's full back of corseting, which, oh my goodness, wow wow wee wah, to quote Borat, I think. It's intense. Coming into number 9, this makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. We have an eyelid piercing. Meet Juan. Juan has his eye pierced. Ow. Juan lost an eye when he served in the Spanish military, and afterwards he found that he absolutely hated wearing a false eyeball. Because of that, he had his eye pierced shut. According to Juan, at first the person he asked to pierce it said no, but then he convinced her by saying, "If you don't do this for me, I'll go to the newbie down the street, and if they don't do it, I'll do it myself." Oh my god, can you imagine piercing your own eye? No. No. Coming into number 8, we have this dinosaur piercing. This is pretty intense, but also I guess kind of cool. But it's the kind of cool where I'm glad that it isn't personally me that has this. Have a look at this image of this beautiful bald lady with spikes running from the top of her skull to the base of her spine. While it looks cool in a piece of artistic photography, can you actually imagine having this piercing in real life? It would be such a nightmare to try and wear clothes of any kind. If you didn't shred your clothes when your head went through them, then your back would probably spike holes in them. You'd have to just be forever spiky and naked. Ever wondered who has the most tongue piercings in the world? Well, wonder no longer at number 7. Frank Vaca snagged the Guinness World Record for most tongue piercings in January 2017. The American national has 20 piercings on his wagger. At one point, he switched his studs for spikes, which sounds pretty dangerous. Spike lick. I was really hoping that this was fake at number 6, but apparently it is not. I'm really sorry to do this to you guys, but check out this zipper tongue. I know that people often get their tongues split, but this imagery is pretty intense. This body mod lover had their tongue split, then studs and a zipper put in place to make it look like a functioning zip. I don't think they can actually zip their tongue, but still, this is pretty intense. From a pierced tongue to a man who can poke his tongue through his cheek piercing. Up next at number 5, we have Joe Migler. 25-year-old German national Joe holds the Guinness World Record for the most flesh tunnels in his face. He has a split tongue which he can poke through the holes. Joe plans to stretch out the biggest of his holes to 40mm wide, which is pretty big. He says that he can still eat normally, but soup is a no-go. He also sometimes sucks lollipops through his cheek, which, wow, I mean, through his cheeks, guys. I can get on board with some of the piercings on this list, but an Achilles piercing, like, absolutely not. Why? Why you gotta? Yep, do you want to see some pictures at number 4? Because they're coming. Warning, these are not for the faint-hearted. A guy called Daniel Rutt had his heel pierced, and all I can say is, I just can't. You can see straight through his foot, and looking at it makes me wince. There's like tendons and stuff going on down there. Ow! Daniel's piercing stretches 15mm wide, which is the kind of size hole I do not want anywhere near my ankle. Okay, I don't know what's worse in the wince factor scale, the Achilles heel piercing or this at number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an epiglottis piercing. What is an epiglottis? It's the dangling thing at the back of your throat. Get a load of this piercing and basically find out. If you thought things at the back of your throat were uncomfortable, imagine having someone go down there and stick a hole and then like a dangly bit in it. For me, having this piercing would feel like there is something constantly stuck in my throat, so I'd always be gagging. And what if you choked on it? Coming into number 2, meet Rolf Bunchholz. 58-year-old Rolf is officially the most pierced male in the world. The German national boasts over 453 piercings all over his body, including 150 around his mouth and 278 on his genitals. Now my question to Rolf, or those who have experienced Rolf, is that uncomfortable? While While he says he has no trouble in the bedroom, he has admitted to trouble at border controls, and he's even said he was once denied entry to the United Arab Emirates as they suspected him of practicing black magic. I can also imagine that it's a nightmare every time he goes through the metal detector at airport security. Plus, some of those he can't exactly show them. Finally, coming into number 1, we have the most pierced person in the world, Elaine Davidson. If you're lucky enough to live in Edinburgh, Scotland, you may have seen Elaine walking around. Elaine has a total of 9,800 piercings. However, this was last counted last year, so she's probably had even more since then. She has hundreds in her face alone. In the year 2000, Elaine was awarded the Guinness World Record for the most body piercings, and she's held on to that title ever since. On her website, she has a sentence that reads, "Elaine does not drink, take drugs, or smoke cigarettes, and she wants people to know this." In some ways, this is because she sees her position in the Guinness Book of Records as a responsibility as much as a dedication. Good on you, Elaine. So guys, that was pretty intense. Do you have any piercings? Would you get any of the piercings you've seen on this list? Like, I'm kind of tempted by the dragon, but I'm not sure if I could live my life as a spiky nude forevermore. I just have my ears pierced for now. I'd maybe get a few more around the ear, but other than that, I think I'm good. So guys, don't forget to check out our new Instagram. It is Most Amazing Official. If you like this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more daily lists. I'll see you next time.